If you're someone that would like to learn how to process the wounds and tension inside your own body, this video might be for you. There is a wonderful term called window of tolerance, but I upgraded it for the wounds. So in the body, there is a tension. There is something painful, uncomfortable, a wound that we are aware of. In the moment when we want to learn how to approach it, what might happen is that at the start it can get too overwhelming. That was my case. So I would either, on one side, I would get angry, frustrated, then also there will be irritation that I want to have it gone, and I would have resistance. That means is that it would went through my window of tolerance. Or either on the opposite side, I would get shut down, overwhelmed, foggy, dullness, and I wouldn't be present in my own body. So the question is, how can we increase the window of tolerance by ourselves to be able to process the wound that is present inside our own body? And also the second question is, what is the right approach? Now, if you would be with a therapist or someone who is great with the somatic work, what happens there is that if they know what they are doing, is that they hold the space for you. So they provide their own window of tolerance. So even when it's going to be overwhelming for you, they hold the space for you, therefore you're able to process it. Now, from my own experience, I've never met anybody who will be able to do this for me, so I had to learn how to do it by myself. And there are two ways how we increase the window of tolerance for ourselves, and then we're going to talk about the right approach, how to approach the wound. So the whole practice is all about when I want to feel something in me, the wounds, tension, uncomfortable things, and I'm not going to get overwhelmed by it. So first I have to understand where my energy is going outside of the practice and how I'm getting my energy back. So this means prioritizing the sleep. If I'm tired, I'm unable to hold the space for myself only because my window of tolerance is very small, because in the moment when I want to approach something in me, I'm falling asleep. And this means is that first we have to take care of the sleep, the most important thing. Then the diet. From my experience, sugar and sugar spikes are not beneficial for approaching the wounds, only because in the moment when I would have sugar spikes in the body and I want to do something, again, I'm falling into dullness. So the window of tolerance is decreasing, and the more my diet is like good, then the more stable I feel. And that's something that I found also got effect on me. Then sports and moving. What I found out that when you can have strength exercises, let's say in the gym, those are effective when I feel stable and when I feel good inside. I didn't like when I was feeling very bad. There was a lot of tension in me, fight or flight. It was just not good, and I wanted to exercise, and it put more stress in me. So I found out that when I don't feel good, it's great to start first with walking, with light yoga, with swimming, with just something that doesn't put so much stress for the body. And then the more better I felt, then I found out that strength training is very beneficial. So that has been my own experience. And that again increases the window of tolerance because I just feel better in me. Media, cheap dopamine, this is what I think is one of the worst ways how we give away our own attention and energy. And what happens is that all the music, TV show, movies, games, pornography, social media, radio, scrolling, everything that continually takes our attention and take our energy, then we don't have the energy for actually staying with uncomfortable feelings and stuff inside our own bodies. How Jung wonderful say, the one who looks outside dreams, the one who looks inside awakens. And then when we want to approach something, we spiral really fast to dullness. Again, my own experience. And what happens then, not only that we fall into this certain dullness, what also happens is that the things that we consume come to the surface to be processed because we have it in our own system. And that means when I want to like start to feel and start regularly breathing, what happens is that the attention is captured by the things that needs to be processed. So if let's say I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to scroll, consume whole day and listen to music all the time, and then in the evening I want to do the work, what actually happens with me is that I'm with that, I want to sit, but my attention just is automatically grabbed by the thing that I consumed. Therefore, I'm unable to process anything. So this is where I found out it's very important to tame be more disciplined about consumption of the cheap dopamine. And I found out in my own life, guarding the mind is very important straight up from the morning, is to not reacting primarily. And then comes the cheap dopamine, but also other chemicals. So when the cheap dopamine is being released, we are unable to process anything, only because it's provides certain kind of layer that we are dissociated from our own bodies, that we live in this different world and we're not really present in here. And this means is that first the dopamine needs to be normalized, and how it is like waves, right? You got like waves, and when you want to fall into the practice, the waves needs to calm down, and then you can be still and come deeper into yourself. And this is very similar to the even endorphins after exercising, which feels good. But again, I'm unable to do any work after the gym because I got the endorphins, I got the chemicals in the body, adrenaline too, also oxytocin when I would meet with people and there would be this good feeling of release of oxytocin. But again, when that is present, I'm unable to dive deeper into myself because it's kind of blocking the excess. And then there is another thing, cortisol, which is fascinating. When the cortisol is present in the body, it's very important to walk it off. That's something that helps me, is that when there would be cortisol, I'm just taking a walk. I'm just walking and I'm helping the body process the cortisol. And then I'm able to dive deeper into myself. So those things need to be taken care of before we can dive deeper. This is why when even Dr. K from The Healthy Gamer, he was sharing, when there is silence and I do nothing, I feel it more and more. But why it's happening? Only because when everything quiets down, the water settles, the ocean, then we are able to feel and sense how we are actually. And how we are actually is that there is just a tension present that comes to the surface to be processed. So that's for the media and cheap dopamine. Very similar to the emotions and anxiety. When there is anger, it's great to first work with the anger before we can dive deeper. Those are, in a way, layers. And then we're going to have the stress. And this is very important, is that what's causing me stress and learning how to manage it. This is where, when I work with people, everybody's in a different journey. Someone needs to first tame the mind, because if we are constantly thinking, we are unable to feel. So we learn how to continually work with the mind, with the anxiety. If someone is dissociated, how we can get more and learn how to feel more, and how to define what we feel, and how to kind of explore ourselves. So it's a journey. But I found out these are the kind of basics that I wanted to share with you. There are important things that I found out, that in a moment when I'm more disciplined about the consumption and the cheap dopamine, I have more energy, and then the energy I can use for diving deeper into myself and holding myself much longer. The second part is insight. This means is that by continually reapproaching the wounds tension inside our own bodies, we can increase the window of tolerance. Very similar, if I'm going to come first time to gym, I'm not going to lift the heaviest weights. I'm going to start with the small weights first. And what is beneficial there, if there is a trainer, someone who could give me insight how to exercise properly. And this is why I'm making these videos, because I wish someone, when I started out, would make this type of videos that would help me. How can I process of what is present inside my own body? Now, let's say this is top of the ocean and this is us. And the deep ocean is something that is within us. To get to know what is inside of us, we continually dive deeper into ourselves. So first, I'm going to put a leg down. And then, oh my God. Then I'm going to look there and I see something swimming. Maybe it was a shark, maybe a goldfish, who knows? But then I try to jump there for 1 second and I go up. And then I wait some time and I'm like, when I jump there for like 2 seconds, oh my God, it was so much. It was so overwhelming. But then the next day, I'm going to try to jump there for 3 seconds. But I'm very tired and I should go to sleep, so I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take for another day, but I know what it is like when I was there for 3 seconds. And this is why it's very important, even when someone is cooking, right? And I would start cooking and someone will give me insight. When this happens, you need to do this. When this happens, just, okay, take it from the heat now and wait 15 seconds. The food is going to be better. So that's why I'm making these videos. And that's the second part, is that continually approaching it, I understand like, oh my God, this was overwhelming, but it was only because I was dull. And I was continually analyzing why is happening, what is happening, and figuring things out to understand how can I heal. So this is the second part, by continually approaching it. But what you want to do is that you don't want to go straight up to the source. So with your attention, this is very important. A lot of people, they start to focus. Focusing is not the right way to go. Oh my God, this is going to be good. So what a lot of people do when they want to do something, they approach it, but they focus on it. They want to go straight to the source of it. And it can be very overwhelming because we start to breathe differently. We're not relaxed. We want to process it quicker than it allows us to do. So we're trying to speed up the process, and that can overwhelm us because we are putting more pressure on ourselves. We're putting more stress into our own bodies. So that's something that I found out doesn't work. At start, what is important is that I just give it complete freedom and care, love, and understanding. And I approach it from this perspective, is that I look on the corner of it in a way, on the end of it. And I'm breathing like this is the wound, and I'm not going here straight up. I'm staying here. And how I do it is that I'm continually breathing while 360 surrounding of peripheral awareness, because when you have on peripheral awareness, you are aware. You are not focusing. You don't want to focus. So I'm aware of 360. The cars are driving, the birds are singing, neighbor is doing something on the garden, and I'm just breathing regularly while aware of the 360, and I'm aware of this wound. And I approach it in this way, that there is a wound, and I just look at it with this compassion, that I bring different frequency, I bring different energy to the body. Because the body needs different things for things to be processed and released. And I give freedom to it. So I'm like, I know you're there. There is no thinking. There is no analyzation. There is no story. Oh my God, it's from the past life. It's from the generational trauma, something that someone did in the childhood. Maybe the visuals will come related when I go dive deeper. That's okay. Like, oh, okay, it was from there. Oh, and I let go. And I come there. And I'm continually diving deeper into the present moment, and by feeling through what is present inside my own body. And then how it can react. So let's say I'm going to turn right now. So this is the window of tolerance. And then when you approach it, and let's say this is, okay, oh my God, this is going to be good. So this is the window of tolerance that I have, and this is my body. So let's say like this, like this, like this. These are legs, this is head, and these are hands. And this is the tension somewhere present in body. I provide the window of tolerance. And now what happens is that it's going to start to process. And this means is that I can start sweating. I can start laughing. I can start crying. I can start, I don't know, something is happening inside my body in the way that I'm processing it. For me, it was crying. For me, it was, I was sweating. My whole t-shirt was full wet. Like I would have a high temperature. And in the way that we are re-experiencing that because we are providing more safety for ourselves, because we have more energy and we can handle it. And this means is that in that way it's processing. And I'm continually breathing through it while holding space for that, while giving it complete freedom. And this is a level of the more comfortable we are that it's there. In a moment when we are still victims that, you know, but they shouldn't leave, they shouldn't happen, and it shouldn't happen, and it's their fault why they did that there is a wound, but I represent it. That there is no understanding that, you know, I'm grown up now, I'm not the victim anymore. If I choose the victim, it's okay, I don't blame, I get it. It's like, life is sometimes very tough, and I get it. But I found out when I'm victim, I'm unable to transform anything. Because there is this state that I'm representing that I'm unable to move, I'm paralyzed. But by deciding that, you know, I start to breathe, and there is this very confidence level of that I get it, like in a way, like a tiger. right? And this type of level that you just get it, and you know that you got it. And this is the state when we can have this state and come and do the things from this state. Things start to process. That in a way I become the parent for myself, in a way that I hold space, I give it freedom, that I can do it. But it takes time. This took me years of work to understand how it actually works. And then what happens is that all this is start to get healed, and then there is just freedom and peace inside. And there is this wonderful quote by Ryokan that I want to share with you. Leave off your mad rush for gold and jewels. I've got something far more precious for you, a bright pearl that sparkles more brilliantly than the sun and the moon. Lose it and you'll wallow in a sea of pain. Find it and you'll safely reach the other shore. I'd freely present this treasure to anyone, but hardly anyone asks for it. And that's what is very fascinating. And I found out that this way leads to inner freedom and feeling more peace and more whole inside of us by continually learning how we can transform the wounds, the tension, the trauma inside our own bodies. I'm not saying it's easy. Oh my God, no way. But I found out that that's something that actually works. So hope this video was a little bit of beneficial on your journey. I wish you all the best. I'm starting a community where we can have weekly calls, where we can learn from each other on how we can become more whole and transform what is present. And if you would like, a link is going to be down below in the description, and I invite you to check it out. Have a great day and goodbye.